Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Kim.
Hey, and what we've decided to do is do a video on our 2003 Newmar Country Star. Rather than just putting up a bunch of still photos, we wanted to take you through and show you all the details of this motorhome. We've had it for what, 4 years?
4 or 5.
4 or 5?
I don't know.
Anyway, we bought it, I think it was back in 2019.
I think so too.
Actually, it was right before the new year, so it had been 2018, because 2019 we took it to Moab.
Yep.
Okay, so we bought it with 68,000 miles on it, and now it just has over 82,000 miles on it. We just got back from a trip to Utah, which is about 1,400 miles round trip, completely trouble-free. This thing is real reliable, easy to drive, and we just wanted to do a video for you guys and show you all the details. All right, thanks for watching. All right, let's show them the inside.
Has that locking door in case of the wind.
Yeah, that's one thing that people don't understand. When this thing opens all the way, it locks out. This is pretty common for some motorhomes, but not all. And so in order to close it, you've got to either pull the handle here or here to get it to close. Otherwise, it's locked. Nice step entry. Here's your dashboard. Really nice flex steel captain's chairs.
Adjustable armrests.
5-way adjustable, heated seats.
Okay.
The general interior. So you walk in and we have a big slide on the right. The motorhome originally came with a dinette set. It was like a wooden oak table with a couple of chairs. And it didn't really fit our needs, so we got rid of that, and Kim found this jackknife couch.
Cheap
What
on
we
Facebook.
really needed was the ability to sleep more people, and being that this was our first motorhome, you know, it's a smaller unit.
It's
so
really easy.
the jackknife couch, it just folds out really easy, and that can sleep one comfortably or two kids. There's a nice drawer underneath it, and the couch is just put there. We never bolted it down to the floor. So if you guys decided, if somebody bought this and wanted to change it out, it would be very easily to change out. Easily fits out the doorway. Over here on this side is a fold-out couch as well. This little love seat.
This one is easy too.
It's super easy to convert into a bed. So there's legs on the bottom side of that fold down, and then this back side folds down, and then you've got a bed there.
I like that this is pretty easy to do.
For a 20-year-old coach, this is in very, very good condition. Everything is original with the exception of a few things. Those of you that might know the Newmar name, they're known for their build quality and construction techniques, alumiframe walls. Everything in here is in very, very good working order. The one thing that we really liked about this motorhome compared to some of the older models is this linoleum floor. A lot of them have carpet in them, and we just didn't want carpet, especially for camping, dirt or sandy areas. The linoleum floor for animals, it makes for, you know, really easy cleanup. So over here you've got your 3-burner stove top. It's got this cover on it. A lot of times we never even use this stove. We cooked outside, so having the extra counter space is really really nice.
Up real easy.
Yeah, it just folds up real easy, out of the way. There's also covers for
the sink.
For the sink that's set in there, so you could have a flat surface there. The covers also double as cutting boards. There's a nice little slide out shelf there for more counter space, and then a fold up shelf here
This just folds
on this side for more counter space. So there's a lot of opportunity, or a lot of options for counter space. Plenty of storage above the microwave. This is a microwave / convection oven. You got storage cabinets in here, and these are passed through. They go all the way through.
Yeah, this side does too.
Same here on this side.
Makes it really easy to fit whatever you need to fit in there. Don't forget the fantastic vent fan over the cooking area.
Right, a fantastic fan right there over the cook area. There is ducted AC throughout. Stereo system, which is controlled by the deck here on the front, on the dashboard. 27 inch, that's a 27 inch or a flat screen TV. It's on an arm, so this will swing out and tilt. Normally what we have is a strap that goes across here when we're driving that keeps it from vibrating outward. A nice little drawer underneath. Of course, originally this came with a big, old school, big box, heavy TV, and the previous owner converted it for us, and it was sold to us this way. This TV has a DVD player in it, however, it doesn't work for some reason. It stopped working, and I just didn't bother to replace it because we usually hook up a Fire Stick to it anyway. In this cabinet is all your controls. You got your tank levels, your battery disconnect, your front slide out control, the LP switch and antenna TV power booster, never use that. Security lights, your automatic step on and off, your heat and AC. This is for your engine block heater. Your water heater. The water heater on this is a 10-gallon water heater. It's either gas or electric.
Yeah, that water heater's been plenty for us to take a shower and wash our hair and do what we need to do. So.
And then we have your Dometic fridge freezer. Very, very commonplace for this gear. It's a gas or electric. Nice little fridge freezer. Awesome pantry. This is one of the things I really like about it. Newmar puts these slide out trays for your pantry in here.
Yep.
We utilize that quite a bit. Stuff it with food. This is an upgrade I did probably within a couple of months after we bought it. What this is an accessory fan. There's an accessory fan on the back side of the refrigerator. Because this refrigerator is in the slide, it's not vented through the roof or through the ceiling. So in order to get air movement through the coils on the back of the refrigerator, I added this fan controller. There's like two, they're like computer fans essentially. And what that does is just keep air moving over the coils on the refrigerator to help it with its efficiency and keep cool, especially in hotter weather. It was a necessary upgrade, and it works great.
Yep.
You want to go back and show them the bathroom or the bedroom?
Show them the bathroom, because that was one of my favorite parts. I insisted on a bathroom that was usable. Even when we're boondocking and we're camping, I want to take a shower and be able to actually get in there. I want to be able to use the restroom. So you can see you have plenty of room. You have plenty of room to change your clothes, whatever you want to do. The shower has a skylight, so there's plenty of room for me. I'm like 5'8", so plenty of room for me to shower and do what I need to do. Previous owners had added some things here, which have been helpful. But generally, I really like the space of this bathroom. It's definitely usable. And then this towel rack is something that we use a lot. There's another towel rack on the back of the door, but this one helps dry the towels a lot. Then we use this as a towel cabinet. Cabinets down here. Cabinets over here. Light switches, water pump. This toilet this is the porcelain toilet. It has the spray nozzle.
Foot flush.
Yep, there's your foot flush. Good cabinetry in here. Lots of space. Lots of storage in there.
Nice medicine cabinet.
Nice medicine cabinet. Lots of room.
Plenty of storage.
In here, 2 different light settings. So if you were somewhere where you needed to do makeup or get dressed, it works really good.
And the shower, guys, we've had guys in here that are 6'5". It's a little tight.
For somebody, everything's tight for a 6'5"
For a
guy.
6'5" guy, but I'm 6'1" and I fit in there just fine. It's a nice shower. The 10-gallon water heater does the trick. I mean, you can sit there with the shower on if you've got plenty of water in the tank, the 10-gallon water heater does the trick, and you don't have to take a camp shower where you turn it off in between rinsing.
No, I can wash my hair and leave it running.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Show them the bathroom or the bedroom.
So I think we really liked the bedroom. Like, the bedroom's been really useful for us. You slept on that side. There's plenty of cabinetry over there. This is the circuit breaker.
Circuit breakers and fuses.
And then in this one is storage. Lots of tall storage. Plenty of storage here. These shelves are adjustable. Drawers down here.
And this is the other slide right here. So this is a wardrobe slide. We have the slide out right now so you can see. We'll bring both the slides in so you can see what it looks like in here. But there's a ton of storage in this wardrobe. There's hanging storage here.
Yeah, this wardrobe is, and there's lights.
This is pass through.
Yeah. And there's a nice light so that when you're trying to find whatever you're looking for, it's easy to find. Same thing in here for tall stuff. We didn't really use tall stuff, but we stuffed.
Yeah. Hanging storage if you want to put your evening gowns in there. That's what they always say in other RV videos. I don't know.
And then these drawers were really big and really spacious. These are the drawers that we'll show you can't get to when the slide is in, but you can get to these very easily.
Also won't be able to get to those drawers there on that side with the slide in, but you got plenty of storage in here. I added this television. This is, I think, a 19 or a 20, and it does have a built-in DVD player, and that DVD player and that one does work. So great.
And then those
addition.
hooks have been handy underneath there too.
The hooks underneath there. And the other thing I actually really like and we use, especially when it's warm, is a ceiling fan when we're sleeping. This ceiling fan, when you're hooked up to AC, is great, just like the ceiling fan in your bedroom. So we did buy a Casper mattress for this. We upgraded that. And this is a super tall Casper mattress. It's not the RV version. This is the same mattress that we have in the house at home. And we just wanted the same thing to sleep in the RV. So this will go with the RV. It's a great mattress. If you guys haven't heard of Casper, look them up. They're great. And then underneath there is also a little bit of storage. And of course your engine access. And this is all
And I like
struts.
that it's easy to
we still
open.
have some blankets in there.
Whoops.
There's some blankets in there. We'll take those out. But you have this storage where the blankets are, obviously. The pillows came with the coach. And then these are the other two chairs that were part of that original dinette unit that we took out. And then, of course, this is the lid to access the top of the engine. So.
And then someone previously had put this shoe thing in, and we've used it. We always have it full of shoes.
Yep.
So this is easy to lift, even for me. So that storage space is useful, and you can get to it.
What else should we talk about?
I think on the shades, what we want to point out is they have, like, they call them I guess they call them daytime shades.
Yeah, so there are built-in daytime and nighttime blackout shades. And these are original. They work great. Haven't had any issue with them. And these are on all the windows except for that little bathroom window.
Yeah, the little bathroom has the little metal blind.
Right. So plenty of lighting throughout. Power plugs everywhere. I don't really know.
You want to point out the USBs you put in?
Yeah, so we'll step up here to the front of the coach and I'll show you some things that I added. First thing, and most notably, is the new LCD backup camera. I added the backup camera. I added a color backup camera and this new LCD screen, and then fabricated this panel to replace what used to be there, which was this basically a mini television, one of those big, heavy, old school mini televisions. So the backup camera was definitely a must. The one that was on here would work intermittently at best, so that was a must, and I went ahead and replaced that. The other thing,
see if I can get the lighting a little better.
The other thing of note is I added, in place of the other cigarette type plug, I added the USB plug here, and this also reads the voltage of the chassis batteries. I added another USB type plug over there. And another thing that was a must for me, especially if you were driving hills or working this thing pretty hard is I added an exhaust gas temperature gauge and a fuel pressure gauge. Those of you that know the older Cummins ISBs, the VP44 injection pump, it's very finicky for fuel pressure. You want to make sure your fuel pump is working, otherwise you hurt the VP44 injection pump. The other thing I added, you'll see over here, which is this little computer tablet, is the Silverleaf electronic gauge set. What this is electronic gauge cluster basically, and it reads directly off of the computer instead of having these dummy gauges that Frieghtliner or the chassis manufacturer gives you with the Motorhome that basically say normal or red. I would rather have a digital reading on my gauges, so coolant temperature or engine temperature, your transmission temperature, your boost or boost PSI, all those things are things I would rather monitor digitally. So that kind of brings this coach into the modern age or the modern era with the digital gauge cluster from Silverleaf. So that's included. Over here you have your leveling system for your hydraulic jacks. There's an air dump, so when you park it, you dump all the air out of the airbags. This is your Allison transmission shift selector. This has got the Allison 3000 transmission in it with the Cummins 300 horsepower ISB. It's a 5.9 liter engine. It's a workhorse. Over there is your exhaust brake, which is this right here. And then underneath the cup holder is your mirrors. And this has heated mirrors and your mirror adjustment there. So
one of the things that I really liked about the gauges that you added and then the tablet is I just drive. I don't understand how all this stuff works. And so you could just tell me what parameters to keep things in, and I could drive like over the grapevine into LA. I just watched things so that I knew I was operating the coach safely and effectively and efficiently without taxing it.
right.
So there's enough information there for anybody to get behind the wheel and go.
Right. Right. And the other thing here on top of the dashboard is a RAM mount for your phone. I added that. I went through a couple of different mounts, and all the mounts that we had they failed. They'd fall off the dash, the suction cup type phone mounts, they fall off the dash in the middle of a trip. If you're here in California, you know the roads are really rough. So I added this, and this thing has been rock solid. Yeah, I had to bolt it through the dashboard, but it's been rock solid. And I guess the only other thing that I can
show what's up here a little bit.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing that I could say is that I did replace the dash heat and AC fan motor. It's real common for the fan motors to go out in these things, especially of this age or this era, and it started to squeal quite a bit, so I just replaced that like
a month ago.
Yeah, like before this last trip.
Weeks,
it was like a couple weeks ago.
Maybe.
The previous owner, for some reason, installed this rear view mirror, and I don't know why.
Maybe to watch kids in the back. I don't know, because you don't see anything.
The only thing I generally use it for is to know what the outside temperature is, because it's got a built-in thermometer for the outside temperature. We also added a brake controller, so if you're pulling a trailer, you got a trailer brake controller. I guess that's pretty much it for the inside. I'm sure I'll think of some other things. So in here are all the original manuals. There are some service receipts that the coach came with. There's a lot of literature in here if you like to geek out on stuff like I do and read. As far as service is concerned, for the most part, I've done all the service myself. One thing that we did do, and we had done at Frieghtliner, is the injection pump went out. That was probably about a year ago, 2 years ago. And we had the injection pump replaced. And that was done at Frieghtliner with a new lift pump, which is a common thing for these older ISB engines with the VP44, which is another reason why I installed that fuel pressure gauge, so that we can monitor that and make sure everything's working like it should, so it doesn't take out that injection pump again. But you're good to go on that.
Yeah, we haven't had any trouble since.
Haven't had any trouble at all. This thing's been a workhorse. So I guess we can go to the outside.
You want to do the outside? Go.
All right, so here we are at the front of the coach, and this is where the generator is. This is a PowerTech 8,000 watt generator. It's got the 3-cylinder Kubota engine, much like the newer Cummins Onan generators have. They were using these before they started predominantly using the Cummins Onan generators. And this generator only has 289 hours on it.
Let's see if I can show that.
So it's been a very reliable generator. I serviced it when we first bought the coach. Haven't had to do anything to it since because we put very few hours on it. We have used it, but not a lot. So
We do run it here and there, but just not for hours and hours on end. It might be an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours here.
the other thing that I did was I added these fog lights, these LED fog lights. If we're being perfectly honest, the headlights on this coach are not the best. I upgraded the bulbs, but if you're driving this thing at night a lot, you may want to look into doing an HID upgrade or a LED upgrade for the headlight housings. These headlight housings, believe it or not, are off a 90s Taurus, which I thought was kind of weird, but I guess it's pretty common for RV manufacturers to do that. You've got your big side mirrors. These things are awesome. You can see everything. They're auto adjustable. They're adjustable from the inside. They also had defrosters built into them. Over here on the driver's side of the coach
Is Bella.
we replaced the slide toppers probably about 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we replaced the slide topper fabric about 2 years ago. On this side, you've got some of your sun fade. The decals are kind of cracking, and this is just pretty common from being in the sun.
And really, it's only this back part because it stuck out from our carport. So the front
Yeah,
part
show
of
them where
this.
the carport is, and they can kind of see.
Yeah, that's our carport.
And that's where it was. That's where it's predominantly stored. So the back end stuck out a little bit, and it was in the sun.
But it seemed like it had been garaged before we got it, because
we
all
always-
of this front end is really good. It's just the little spot on the back.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the tires. The tires. So the front tires, the steer tires, are Michelin. I replaced them about 2 years ago. There's a receipt in the drawer in there. The date code on these is a 2019 date code, so you're good to go on your steer tires. The Michelin is by far the best for an RV steer tire. The back tires were replaced when we bought the coach. We insisted that the dealer we bought it from put new tires on it, and these are a Hercules brand, and the date code on these is 2018, so 3318. They've got plenty of life on them. Some people say you can run these tires for up to 10 years. Some people say only 5. It just depends on what you're comfortable with, but you're not going to have to buy this. You're not going to have to, if you bought this coach, you're not going to have to go out and buy tires immediately. You got at least a couple of years, if not more, depending on what you're comfortable with.
Real quick, while we're talking about tires, do you want to mention the safety steer?
Oh, the other thing I did, because this is such a short wheelbase coach, and I don't even think we've talked about this. This is a 34.5 foot diesel pusher, which is pretty rare on the market. If you look at them, most of them are 38 to 40. This is a 34.5 foot diesel pusher, which it makes it super easy to drive in tight spaces. It turns on a dime. You can get in and out of regular gas stations fairly easy. Parking lots, grocery store, whatever. It's really easy to drive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what drew me to it, really, because that was the first motorhome. I pulled a lot of big trailers, but I wanted to be able, when I took it for what I was using it for, I wanted to be able to stop in and get some fast food or some groceries or whatever I needed to do. And I'm confident that I could pull it into any grocery store and get in there.
So we're kind of doing this off the cuff. We don't really have a script of any kind. But going along with that short wheelbase, I did add the safety steer system to it, and I'll get a picture, but that basically keeps things a lot more stable in that steering wheel, It keeps that normal play out of the steering wheel and keeps it tracking straight, especially when you're in a windy condition, or some of you guys, I know you guys have felt when you get a truck either passing you or especially passing you going the opposite direction. That safety steering stabilizer keeps this thing tracking straight and makes it a lot more stable and easy to drive. Okay, so we'll just go through some of the details of the coach from front to back. This is your fuel fill, and there's one of these fuel fills on either side. It's a 100-gallon fuel tank. Here is your propane tank, and I believe the capacity on the propane tank is 32 gallons.
Having the ability to fill on both sides has been amazing when you go into a gas station to get diesel.
And here is one of your storage compartments, and is a complete pass-through storage compartment.
So that's the door on the other side that you're seeing.
Over here is your wet bay, and I don't think I cleaned these out, so pardon me if they're a little bit dirty. We stored our hose underneath there. There's also the dump valve for the freshwater tank. And here's all your controls for your dump, your tank fill, your low point drains if you need to winterize.
Outside shower.
Yeah, your outside shower rinse, and
For
then also
hosing
your
off kids or dogs.
sewage, your sewage rinse connection there. I've always had, whenever I hook this up, especially at a park, I've always run a pressure reducer and an external filter. This thing also has a whole house water filter system in it with replaceable cartridges, and there's a couple of new ones in the cabinet inside there.
I saw those in there. And then just, this is some damage on this door, but it doesn't affect how the door opens and closes.
Yeah, we bought it like that. So over here is another storage compartment for a sewer hose. We've got a shorter sewer hose in there. It's one of those cheaper collapsible fuel hose or sewer hoses. Over here is your electrical, where your shore power is. Comes with a step down converter from 50 amp to 30 amp. There's your converter for your power. There's also a surge protector in here that the previous owner installed. It's a surge guard, surge protector. It's built in there. And then back here is your batteries. Batteries are mounted on a slide out tray. Your chassis batteries or engine batteries on this side, and then two 6-volt golf cart style batteries that I just replaced. I believe that was in February.
I think so too. Yeah.
So, and I keep those, I maintain those, keep the water levels up. They're virtually brand new. Around to the back, you have your ladder to go up to the roof. This has a 600-pound tongue weight by 6,000-pound tow capacity hitch. Access to check your oil levels, oil fill, fluid levels, power steering. I didn't clean this up. It's kind of looking a little bit grungy, but hey, that's what it is. Along the back is a mud flap, and this mud flap is kind of sacrificial, especially when you're going through kind of a ditch or anything that has any kind of a...
Yeah, it's been kind of dented.
Yeah, it's scraped the ground, we'll just put it that way, but that's what they're for. It keeps rocks from kicking up on anything that you're towing. Over here to the passenger side. A little boo-boo here.
A little boo-boo.
And I don't remember how that happened, but I'm pretty sure I did that. Hey, it's 20 years old. What do you expect? Back here, big old storage compartment. We used to put the Blackstone griddle in there. Chairs. There's it. You know, it's huge, so you can put a number of things in there. Here's another storage compartment, and when we bought it, these are your computers for your engine computer or your transmission computer and the wiring. When we bought it, it was just completely exposed, so I built this little this little aluminum plate thing to sort of
Little shield.
sort of shield it. Little gaskets going on. So that you can stack stuff around it and you don't have to worry about it running into the control computer there. Over here is a very common storage compartment that Newmar puts in. On the back side of this pegboard are the sewage tanks and the water tanks. And so they just put this in there so it's not a completely useless storage bay with this little pegboard, so you can hang tools or cords or whatever you have in there. I used to store my little portable 100-watt solar panel in there. Here is the other side of the pass-through storage. The previous owner put these tubes on there, and in one of those tubes is the stick for the rod for the patio cover awning, and then there's also a shade screen cover that snaps on the front windshield. Okay. Over here in this front storage compartment is a custom storage drawer that I built specifically for our tools and this handy little portable smoker, which by the way does not come with the sale of the coach. And this is really handy because it'll completely slide out. And you can access everything.
We put a lot of weight on it.
Yeah, there's a ton of weight on here. This toolbox is full of tools. This little Davy Crockett smoker grill is super heavy, plus all the fluids. But it's a really handy little drawer. And
I'd say we recommend the Davy Crockett too.
I definitely would. And the other thing I did was right here, if you can get in here, is I added 12-volt plugs and USB plugs so I could run the Davy Crockett, and then you could also charge your devices off this USB plug.
So if you were sitting outside or...
Yeah, I thought at some point I'd put in some sort of an outdoor entertainment system, but I just never did. But I did add these so that we could run the Davy Crockett or whatever you have. There's also power plugs on both sides of these compartments as well, and there's lights in every compartment.
Yeah, I think Newmar did a really good job putting lights in everything.
I guess that's pretty much it for our 2003 Newmar Country Star 3352.